fight for everything. I want to fight, and sometimes I go a little bit too much with my emotions. But it's a part of my person. But with the players, I have no problems with this.
Well, Marco Schalabom and the Montreal Impact certainly caused quite a controversial stir this week. Rumor had it that he was out and that retired Impact defender Alessandro Nesta was in as the new head coach. Of course, those rumors were denied. So to clear it all up, we've brought in Jeremy Filosa from 98.5. Hi, Jer.
Hi there.
And former Impact player and sports writer for La Presse, Pat Leduc. Pat, welcome.
Hi.
It's great to have you here for your first time.
Yes, thank you.
So Impact President Joey Saputo, he says that the team is still unsure as to Marco Schalabom's future. Pat, Jer, will Marco Schalabom coach this team next season? And if not, who will?
Well, you know, I think we were fed this week a whole big load of you-know-what in the press conference, unfortunately. I think it's pretty much set in stone. You know, the fact that Marco Schalabom made the playoffs makes that he has a contract for next year, right? I mean, had they not made the playoffs, this would have been easy. He would have been going back to Switzerland. They would have found a new coach. That would have been the end of it. But now, he can't say I'm going back to Switzerland because otherwise he gets nothing. So he's going to try and negotiate and get something out of this deal that he has for next year. And they're going to move on to something else, probably Alessandro Nesta or Mauro Biello or a combination of both.
On the other hand, they didn't say that he wasn't coming back. So because I don't believe that they know who is going to coach next season. It doesn't seem as if Alessandro Nesta is very enthusiastic about taking over the job. And it doesn't look as if they have that much confidence in Mauro Biello to take over that role right now. So they're leaving the door open for Schalabom to come back in maybe a different setup, maybe with Nesta, maybe with Biello in a different capacity. And who knows, maybe Nick DeSantis will play a role next season.
Interesting take, interesting take. Jared, let me ask you, do you feel that the veteran players and the best players on this team were poorly managed?
I think the management of the roster in general was poor, unfortunately. I remember when the team qualified after they won the Canadian Championship, and I kept asking when I went to practices, what's the game plan in order to make sure everybody's fresh at the end of the year and that the young players get some playing time in order to be able to rise to the challenge when big games come up. And Schalabom kept saying, you're going to have to trust me, you're going to have to trust me. And unfortunately, for the middle of the summer, I mean, they rolled those veterans like crazy, and we didn't see any of the young players. We saw them at the beginning of the year, but then we only saw them when they really needed them, and unfortunately, these guys had no playing time, no experience, and then you had veterans that were hurt, tired, and we saw the results.
Also, Marco Schalabom is renowned for his motivational skills. He started off the season, and it looked as if the team got a bit of fresh air, played with confidence, and as the season went on, players got tired, injuries, we got away from the fundamentals that brought success to the team. And at the end of the season, you could see Schalabom himself wasn't into it anymore. It seemed like he had a defeatist attitude. Mentality wasn't the same as it was earlier on. So it's going to be hard for him to come back and bring everybody on the same boat again.
So how much of the blame should be placed on Marco Schalabom then?
I think a lot of it has to be placed on his shoulders. Obviously, he's in charge of the team, and the team wasn't prepared for the last few games. And I think that's what management is saying right now. We didn't like what we saw. So we're going to discuss it with him. But it doesn't look to me as if they believe he can change the situation for next year.
It's very possible that we could see a third coach in 3 seasons. Jer, what implications does this have for the team?
Well, the first thing is Joey Saputo doesn't want to talk about that because I asked him the question during the press conference and he basically bit my head off. And I said, you know, I mean, you may be in a situation next year.
I was going to say, I've been tempted to do the same on this panel sometimes.
Yeah, but sometimes between Italians we can challenge each other, right? But he was not happy about the fact that, you know, yeah, technically speaking, next year they could end up with 3 head coaches on the payroll and 2 of them at home doing nothing. So, I mean, this is not healthy for an organization, I don't think.
Well, the good news is for fans of the Impact is that Joey Saputo, he's willing to pay for all these coaches.
Absolutely.
So he's passionate and he wants success for his organization. However, management and the way we're handling this business right now is not sound for it's not the way that you're going to bring success in the long term. It seems to be that there's too many spontaneous, impulsive decisions that are being taken right now.
Pat, Jeremy, thank you both so much for your insight. That's it. We'll see you both again next week.
All right.
Sure.
Great. Thanks.